Chapter 6, Section 5. Learn how to find percent increase and decrease. Percent change is the ratio of the amount of change to the original amount. Percent change is a ratio. In the numerator, we're going to have the amount of change. In the denominator will be the original amount. Percent increase describes how much the original amount increases. Percent decrease describes how much the original amount decreases. Example 1. Find the percent increase or decrease from 15 to 20. We're going to solve this using 3 different steps. In the first step, we need to answer the question from 15 to 20, did it increase or decrease? From 15 to 20, it's an obvious increase. In step number 2, we need to calculate the difference of 15 and 20. Now remember that finding the difference, we're going to use subtraction. So 20 minus 15 equals 5. So we know that it increased by 5. Step 3. We need to calculate the percent of change. Remember, percent of change is a ratio of the amount of change to the original amount. Now in this case, the amount of change is 5 and the original amount is 15. So our percent of change will be a ratio of 5 to 15. So in essence, we are trying to solve the question, 5 is what percent of 15? Back in section 3 of chapter 6, we started solving percent problems. One of the methods that we used was the proportion. Is over of equals percent over 100. So to solve 5 is what percent of 15, we're going to use this proportion. So set up your proportion down here, fill in your is and of, percent and 100. You're going to come up with one unknown. Please cross multiply and divide to calculate your percent increase. In example 2, in 1999, a certain stock was worth $1.25 a share. In 2002, the same stock was worth 85 cents a share. What was the percent decrease? Going through the 3 steps that we introduced in example 1, the first step, does it increase or decrease? Well, in the question, it asks us what was the percent decrease. So it obviously decreased. In step number 2, we need to calculate the difference. So please, for step number 2, calculate the difference in the price of the stock. Step number 3, calculate the percent of change. Remember, the percent of change is set up as a ratio of the amount of change to the original amount. So set that ratio up right here. What number over 1.25? Blank is what percent of 1.25? Again, we can solve this percent problem by setting up is over of equals percent out of 100. So please set up your proportion, fill in your unknowns, cross multiply and divide to come up with percent decrease.